Well, Car, can I ask you a question? Actually, I've had my hand up, and you actually drove right into where I was going. I I drive for a soup kitchen during the day, Monday or Tuesday through Friday. Anyway, and they were talking about, and the reason why I know a little bit about what's going on in Lewiston and shit like that is because the resources are starting to get stretched down there, where the local community, they had enough social services to be able to handle the people that were there, but all of a sudden come in like 3 times as many that would need social services than can be supplied to these people. And that's like when there, what was it? There, that city in the UK where basically the population just doubled almost overnight. No, and the social services or any services in that area wasn't built for it. And it's like it's all getting crammed down our throats too fast, and it's causing so much friction. It's just making it worse and worse, because what happens is you have two communities and two cultures fighting for the same resources. You know what? You're going to go with the gang, and that kind of does it, because sometimes if you can't get it alone, you'll get it as a group. And I'm saying, like, politically, I'm not saying you go out and actually steal it. I want to be very clear about that, but the political alliances will help out your community, and that will further divide it. Is that what that kind of where your study goes with it? It's really a stretch on resources in the areas where it's not ready to happen. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. I think all the more reason. That's why you need stability. Somebody said that you cannot build, palaces and castles in an as an island in an ocean of poverty. You cannot do it because you cannot survive. So one was, of course, already. Now look at the movement like Brexit, why it was happening, demographics, and then there were other countries. I think there was effort by Greece also, and this call, I think, in France of Brexit, maybe it is accentuated, used as a political tool. Why? Because one was, I think it has been accentuated in last 2 decades. One was the Arab Spring and North MENA region being destabilized, and immigration getting into Europe through whatever means, illegal means. Then came Russia-Ukraine war. So you are basically creating instability and adding to already a serious problem, demographic problem. So you have net migration, which you cannot stop. Like in Afghanistan, there was instability. And at the peak of Afghan war, there were 5 million Afghanis. 5 million is very big. I think we were the largest importers of immigrants because we couldn't stop them crossing the border, because then it's a matter of humanity and survival. And no army could stop it. The border. You can fence it, you can fire on them. It never happened. But then they will, because it's a migration because of unusual circumstances. The same has happened with Europe. I don't know. Somebody's calculated how many Ukrainians are today have migrated to Europe. I don't know. I'm sure they must be. It's almost 1/5 of their population is displaced. So that has added to almost. Yeah, same is true in North Africa. Nobody's calculated how many Libyans, less Iraqis, then you have Syrians. I think Syria is 1/4 of population is living outside Syria, and like 3 million are in Turkey, but I'm sure 3 million have crossed over to Europe. So these are the kind of thing that what is the policy at global level by the so-called neocons? How do they drive instability and what do you get out of it? They thought they could engage Russia and scuttle its economy, and the pressure is now on the West. Energy crisis, food crisis, because the globe is interlinked. You cannot disrupt the supply chain and all. So I think it's too much complicated. But I still feel that yes, resources will always be less, and there'll be more people. And then even services sector. Uh, I'll just elaborate. I've studied the services sector in the West, even in the US. Who runs services sector and why? Mostly it's being run by and manned by Asians, or maybe some, let's say, Middle Eastern countries or Turkey, because of this imbalanced demographic profile. Uh, uh, like like in our case, the mean average age is like 25 years in Pakistan, but I'm sure in certain countries it has crossed 40 or maybe 50 years. So on the top of the pyramid, which is inverted, you have like 25% of population is above, let's say, 75 years. So who's going to look after? You require youth, the nurses, the people who would manage the nursing homes, or even like I know in US, is an old guy. I've been to Monterey in California for training, and it was mostly settled by old people, retiree. It was a retiree community. Rich retiree people would live there. Let's say there was an old guy whose son and daughter is living maybe somewhere else. He's all alone, and he falls in a bathroom, washroom. So what he does is because he just has a number, so he dials it, and an Indian girl picks up in Bangalore and then starts evacuating him. Through services system in the US. So she will tell the hospital to send.
Maybe if I think
Yeah.
I think he's frozen. I think
He
he's
got
frozen.
censored. He got censored by the
Yeah.
There's a
Pakistani
disruption.
government.
Yeah.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah. Now. Yeah. So this services sector in US, UK, I think 60% of economy. Why?
Could you go back? You froze on us. Could you go back to the point where the person went into the hospital?
Yeah. So I was just saying that how does the services sector, at times I would just wonder why there are so many call centers in India and Pakistan. And what do they do? They connect calls. Then when I went in, then I realized, no, it is just for services of the old people. So if old guy has fallen into a bathroom in California and he's all alone, again, it's matter of demographics. Like in my case, my father and mother died in my house. My father was 92 and my mother was like 88. But when they were old, so we lived and I expect my children, like I have like 3 sons. So when I get old, so they'll look after me. So, but I think this is also under stress in Pakistan because now we have old homes coming in Pakistan. But in the West, probably this was accentuated. So the evacuation is being done by an Indian or a Pakistani girl or a boy who's sitting in Bangalore or Islamabad. So this old guy just dials the number, and rest is all done by them. So now they will call, in Monterey, the ambulance service. So they'll go and they'll tell him that this is the house number, because maybe the guy only can make a call. He's broken his arm or something. So it's just an example of our services sector. Your tickets for tours, your shopping, like if you're going to Walmart, this girl will arrange, she tell the Walmart that old guy is coming and this is the shopping list. And maybe she has access to his credit card. That's why this credit card fraud came up. And it came to, I think South Asia, especially Indian, made $10 billion out of credit card frauds. So this is where we have probably reached, and there is a need to, and when you say like Russia is now encouraging young marriages, it is to basically address the demographics. So it's very, very deep, I would say. And what you see is basically the symptoms, and it's very, very unfortunate, but here we are. So that's my study of the demographics, and we can keep on discussing it.